Hi everyone, Tarot from the Divine here with another general reading with the made up deck cards. You all seem to be enjoying this, so I'm going to keep doing them. Let's see what we've got going on in the energies today. And we'll get either 5 or 6 cards going. And get the lines going. Now, like I said before, these can be... Okay, so the letter S. Somebody's first, middle, or last initial. Could be a company. I don't know. We'll find out. I forget what I was going to say. So anyway, let's keep going. So short could be a description of someone. Fishing. Someone could enjoy fishing. Okay, near-death experience. Get 1 or 2 more. Okay. Something about a husband. And then the vet. So I'm thinking veterinarian. Okay, so what about this S? Keep going on that. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Okay, the initial N. So S and N. If we get an L, that would be funny. S and N. Okay, so the next thing is jewelry. So short, someone short jewelry, or it could be short jewelry like, like a choker or a bracelet or an ankle bracelet. That type of short jewelry. Excuse me. We have 90 to 100 under fishing. Someone could be catching 90 to 100 fish. Someone could be 90 to 100 that likes to go fishing. I'm also getting 90 to 100 degrees. So you go fishing to cool off. 90 to 100 people. What about this near-death experience? So how y'all doing? Okay, so we have seductive. All right. And then we have 20 to 30 for husband. So it could be someone that's 20 to 30 years of age. Could be married for 20 to 30 years. What about the vet? Please remember to only take this if it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, then it's not for you. All of these lines could be connected or not. Child. So the vet and a child. Okay. These could all be connected or not. They could be storylines around you. Okay, stuff that's going on around you. It may not involve you particularly, or some of these storylines may be your energy. That's what you get when you get collective energy. You get, a bunch of different stuff. And usually it's stuff that's going on around you. It's not, your particular storyline. But sometimes, sometimes it is. What about this S and N? Let's see here. April. So, something about April. April could be a name. S and N could be, someone's initials. It could be one person's initials of S and N, or it could be two people with initials of S and or N. Something in April. What about the short jewelry? Cutting and slicing. So the jewelry could be made from cutting and slicing different elements of it, like cutting a chain or slicing like a piece of wood if it's, like wooden jewelry or something. It could be jewelry that looks like it's cutting or slicing, like the swords pendants, and there's things like that. So it could be jewelry and someone short wears it, or it could be short jewelry that involves pendants or things that show cutting or slicing, like knives and hammers and swords and stuff like that. Under fishing, 90 to 100, someone's in denial. I don't know about what yet. What about this near-death experience? Something was seductive. Flip them over and go the other way. The initial K. Or the letter K. Could be relevant. Okay, what about this husband? All right, that's a lot. But we'll take them. Okay, so there's cat. Now, while I feel it should go with the vet, husband 20 to 30, cat. The vet, child, and married. So the vet could have a child that's married, or the vet could be married and has a child. Under S and N for April, we have garage. And then short jewelry, cutting and slicing, the initial Q. Could be someone that makes the jewelry, or someone with the initial Q wears the jewelry. They could be short. The jewelry could be short. Cutting and slicing. The cutting and slicing could be a job as well. They could be like a meat person, a meat packer or something like that. Then we have the initial G under fishing, 90 to 100, in denial, letter G. Okay. Let me move this, get it out of the way. All right. So the near-death experience with K. Flip it over. What else about this near-death experience? Please clarify. Boots. Okay, so near-death experience could have been someone that had this near-death experience, was wearing boots, had an initial of K, and something was seductive. It could have been the boots. But somehow that plays into the near-death experience. Or they're just saying that they had a near-death experience. Then we have musician. The husband, who is 20 to 30 or has been married 20 to 30 years, has a cat, could be a musician. Not the cat, the husband. So these are just different energies that are in the collective right now that are, you know, this is stuff that they're thinking about or stuff that's currently going on with them. It's just stuff that I'm picking up on. Okay, someone has a bruise or a cut. In the vet, child, married, and bruise or cut. So either the child or the vet has a bruise or a cut. And since that came out, I'm going to say that it's the child, but it could be the vet. Okay, what about this SN, April and garage? What is all of that about? Can you sort of clarify all of that, please? Why is it coming out? Delusional. So someone with those initials is delusional, and it has something to do with the garage and April. So maybe something happened in April in the garage that they're delusional. Maybe they think the garage is like their home instead of the house, you know, or they think the garage, maybe there's something that they want to do, maybe in April, maybe they're planning for next April that they want to do with the garage, but the idea is delusional. What about this short jewelry cutting and slicing? So far that's the most interesting one. What about that? Short jewelry, custody, cutting, slicing, letter Q. Ooh, I caught it. Death. Okay, well, in tarot, the death card means the ending of a cycle and a new beginning. But looking at the rest of this, it looks like It looks like this cutting and slicing could end in this. I don't know. I just got a very dark feeling when I pulled that card. Like maybe that's something that they wear. I'm not going to go any further than that, but that could be what this letter Q wears, a description of them, what they wear, and what they do. It's what it could be. And that could also describe someone that works at, legally, like in a meat packing plant. So, you know, it can go a few different ways there. But I did get a very dark energy off of that. Okay, what about this fishing? 90 to 100, in denial. Letter G. Okay, they're a blogger or a vlogger. So in that case, they could have, if they're a blogger or a vlogger, it's probably about fishing. Their online name could be a G, and they may have 90 to 100 followers, and they're in denial about getting more. Maybe their content isn't quite what everybody wants or something, but they're in denial over something. Maybe they think that it's going to make them rich and famous overnight, and it 99 out of 100 it doesn't. Okay, this near-death experience. Explain the seductive. Babysitter. Okay. Well, there's a few things come to mind with that one. Near-death experience, seductive boots, babysitter, initial K. Babysitter could have the initial K, and they were wearing some seductive boots, and either while doing stuff they had a near-death experience, or somebody found out and they had a near-death experience, or this person could have had a near-death experience. Okay. Husband 20 to 30, cat, musician, breathing. They could have asthma, or they need to practice breathing exercises while doing their music. They could be allergic to the cat. And then we have conference. Under the vet, child, married, bruiser, cut. And there's a conference about this bruiser cut. And then we have the SN, April Garage, delusional, and straight. So someone, my definition of straight in this one is, preferences, but yeah, instead of being crooked, could be straight. I think you know where I'm going with that. What about this short, this jewelry? flip it over. Okay, that's all it wants to talk about with that. Okay, let's go on with the fishing then. P, the initial P. Okay. Still going okay. I was afraid that my camera had shut off. The initial P. So G and P, blogger, vlogger. They're in denial. Their channel is probably about fishing. And I'm assuming the 90 to 100 is probably the amount of followers that they have. Could be 90 to 100,000 as well. Near-death experience. Please clarify who had the near-death experience. I'm going to say it was the babysitter. And they could have gotten attacked because they were wearing seductive boots. Or, yeah. Although there isn't attack in there, but we do sometimes let our minds wander, don't we? Okay. If you could clarify who did what. You. And I asked for who did what. I get the letter U. Now, does it mean Y-O-U? Am I talking to someone who went through this? Or is it you, the initial? What about this husband? Musician, breathing. You know, if he's a musician that uses like a wind instrument, of course he'd have to be able to breathe. Bagpipes, maybe. Anything else on the husband? Okay. What about this vet? Conference. Rules and guidelines. So there's rules and guidelines at this conference, and someone's showing up with a bruise or a cut, either the vet or the child, and they're married. But there's something about the rules and guidelines. It could be about that bruise or cut. Maybe it's slightly infected, and they have to, keep it covered or something like that. Or it's a conference about rules and guidelines or something. But something about the bruise or cut, they may need to address the, like I said, it could be slightly infected. Now we're going to go through one more time and get one last pull. And I'll be putting those kind of up a little higher since I'm out of room. And these darn cards do not want to go together. Okay. So what about this first set? SN April Garage Delusional and Straight. What is that? One last card, please. I don't know where this cough is coming from. Probably all the smoke in the air. Have a lot of fires around here right now. Is there anything else that you want to... Okay, drugs. Alright, so something about drugs. And then the short jewelry cutting and slicing. Ooh, Q, death, and a redhead could be significant. What about this fishing? 90 to 100, in denial. G, blogger, and P. What else? Just one more card on that, please. Blockage. Okay, so somebody could be being blocked on in their online presence. Somebody's trying to block them, or they're in denial about it. Okay, what about this near-death experience? One more card on that. Okay, overcoming obstacles, which a near-death experience can give you. What about this husband? 20 to 30, cat, musician, breathing. Okay, I don't know which one it was, so we'll just keep going. Expecting this. Okay, so they're expecting something. Maybe this breathing, maybe they know that maybe they have an allergy and they know this and they're expecting it. And what about this vet, child, married, bruise cut, conference, and hot, spicy, and sweaty. So to me, this means that this conference is being held someplace where it's hot. There could be spicy food, and the AC maybe isn't working properly, and that could affect the bruiser cut with an infection. So anyway, that's the reading. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. Maybe they'll get a kick out of it. And as always, I always have to say this. Please remember to only take what resonates. If nothing resonates, it's just for entertainment purposes only anyway. This is a very general reading and different lines that I'm picking up on. So until then, or until next time, hey, have a great day.